Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hi, morning, Jace.
Hi, good morning.
Hi. Hello. Hi to all our educator friends out there. Okay, welcome to PIE interview today. So today we have Jace with us. Okay, Jace is the principal accountant at U Ventures. Jace will be sharing with us how to choose the right business type for tutors. Okay, so thanks, Jace, for coming up to the show. And yeah, it's a good.
Thank you for inviting. It's a very meaningful group. I saw the advertisement just now.
Thank you. Yeah, we have many tutors so we really want to up our game. So this is part of our initiative to help tutors to really learn more things about our business and do a better job. Yeah.
Hopefully, you can contribute to the group.
Yeah. You are the first accountant that comes to this show. So I think when it comes to I'm maybe stereotyping, but many tutors, right, we are quite clueless about money. So we are in this trade because we are passionate about teaching. We want to make a difference in our students' life. But when you ask us about money, about corporate structure, we are like, can I just be so prop like forever?
Yeah, but when you excel and you do too well, you earn too much, then your tax will ask me, why my tax so high? My friends always ask me those, especially they're doing very well. Why my tax so high?
Yeah. So that's why we have you today on the show. Okay, Jace, I know that you have been featured twice on major news. Major newspaper. So maybe later you want to share with us a little bit, share with our audience about why were you featured on this, and what can we learn from you about on both times that you are featured. But before that, can I just quickly introduce to our audience about what is PIE in case they are first timers?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So if you're first time watching this show, right, PIE, okay, is an initiative by Jeffrey and myself. Okay, we want to raise the industry standard for professional tutors. We equip tutors, okay, with mindset, skill set, and network for them to deliver profitable and impactful work. So we want to make tutoring a prestigious industry, prestigious job, and a calling. So we want to really erase the kind of public perception that you are a tutor, or maybe you are just transiting. It's like a few months later when you get a proper job, then you will quit tutoring. So we want to erase this because we think that it is something that's very meaningful. Okay, so I would like to invite Jeffrey to say hi because this project wouldn't be possible without his technical wizardry. So Jeffrey, can you just say hi? Okay. Now, Jace, can you just tell us a little bit about how come you are featured on two major newspapers in Singapore?
Okay. I think was by chance. Okay. I've been an accountant for I think at least 15 years. Yeah, stop counting somewhere. Yeah, I've been doing it for 15 years. I've been running my own firm for 11 years, coming 12 years. The 12 years next year, early next year. So 11 past years.
Okay.
So people ask, they cannot resonate my experience to my face. So I better tell them first.
That's the question that I want to ask you actually.
Yeah. So they were like, huh? So many years? I say, yeah. I started business when I was quite young, in my 20-something. So I'm in my 30s. So yeah, good to start early. And when I was featured, it was because one of my client come friend, he asked me whether I would like to be featured because he was just featured. So a lot of my peers, people who I know, or our clients are featured on newspaper. They are quite sizable and doing quite well. But of course, in various industries for different reasons. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't. It was quite difficult to find a female entrepreneur to be featured. They prefer females because most of the time you see it's all male. Not businessman. Businessman is always mostly men. So
right.
Businesswoman is lesser, so they prefer to feature trying to balance out. That's how it started. So I didn't know what questions were coming actually.
Okay, so I understand that in Business Times interview, right, you were they describe you as an ace at crunching numbers. Yeah. So well, what is the story about?
Okay. They were just okay. So they were relating to the first article, whereby of many traits. But actually, I have a passion for doing businesses. So I myself either invest or start many businesses to try out to see how things are. And then in terms of acing and crunching numbers is because studying and looking at the numbers and the profitability was my core. So before I do anything, I'll look at the industry standards, where the benchmark, what is the returns, what is the potential growth, whether that is it's potentially profitable, and how to make it profitable. All these things can be told from the numbers. So numbers can tell you stories.
Oh, okay. I also deal with numbers every day. I'm a math tutor. But I think we are telling different stories. So usually when I look at those financial statements, right, I also quite blur one. Like there are many. Yeah. So I guess just knowing the numbers, knowing how to plus, minus, multiply, divide, don't exactly help for us to be savvy in business, right? So probably math tutors, no matter what level you are, you also need an accountant's help to understand the business structure, how to make sense of the numbers.
Correct. How to make the numbers grow. Maybe you understand plus and minus, but sometimes you need a business strategy to see how it can improve. So that's also how we value add.
Right. Okay. So you helm a company called U Ventures. So that's where how you value add to your clients. So I understand that it's a boutique accounting and bookkeeping company. You have hundreds of clients, different various industries. Right. Okay. So and you just now you said that you started doing business when you were young. Yeah. So just want to identify with our audiences, all our audience who have been trying out in their business. Some of them, it may be their first business. Yeah. So you mentioned that you are a serial entrepreneur, so you tried more than once.
Of course.
And you mentioned that you failed many times.
Yeah. Yes.
And you succeeded in many ways.
Failure is the mother of success. You must fail to know what you did wrong so that you can do them right. So you must fail like maybe 10 times to get the correct methodology. It's like, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, I cannot do this. So don't be defeated by failure, because for students, I believe the same. We don't expect the child to be superb, everything 100/100, right? Then they need you for what? It's the same thing. You have to learn from what you're not good and make it right, and then you will succeed.
Okay. So this is a little bit a sidetrack, but maybe you can just share with us what really keep you going. Going through all this failure, success, and then finally you are where you are here today.
Okay, I always believe in no matter what you do, the attitude is the most important thing. Firstly, never give up. I don't know why our like most Singaporeans or whoever's in Singapore is like, if I fail too many times, I don't want to try again. I'm very sian. I'm very demotivated. I'm not driven. Yeah, I failed so many times already. I don't want to try anymore. Our young generation is also like that. That's why teachers always say that we must encourage them to do better. Okay, but adults are also like that. When I talk to my colleagues, my peers, they'll be like, I tried so many times. I am very tired. Sometimes if you are tired, take a short break, but never give up. Because when you give up, it's the end. It really is the end. But if you never give up, you try the same thing more than one time, you try 10 times. Example is a 10-year series, you do the same thing 10 times, surely pass on. You
it's
should
true.
get the correct.
It's true. I have students like failing their prelims, right? But because they just whack the 10-year series, and then they score A2, they score B3. I think they can do that from F9. They just within the span of few years, few months. It's possible.
It is possible, but in some people try continuously but keep failing because they never learn the mistake. So they are inside this hole. They cannot see themselves. They cannot see what they did wrong. So they continuously try but keep repeating that mistake also. So having a peer group to discuss and to share your problems is very critical. So a platform like PIE is very important, so that you can share with your peers that, oh, I had this problem before and how I actually rectified it or what solution I had. Yeah, that's why I say it's a very meaningful platform.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, before we founded this group, right? It's really very hard to find a tutor organization. Very hard. Even if I want to pay money to attend training, I also don't know where to go because the training are all generic for everybody else. Then, yeah, if you want a networking group, right, to support you, right, the best is join BNI law. That's why I was in it for. You were also in BNI, and did I get you wrong? That you were also in JCI, right? Were you?
Yeah, I am still in JCI. I'm the treasurer of JCI this year.
Yeah. Let you handle money, sure, correct one. Treasurer.
I just contribute to the non-profit as much as I can because I still believe in the social part of contribution. Yeah. So when you work too hard for business, you try to balance out. Yeah.
Right,
sometimes you're really working hard not for some returns. You want to contribute to society and contribute to people who have a meaningful goal, you know. Yeah. Money is not everything lah. Of course, you need bread and butter for your day to day. Then you extra time you can contribute someone. It's like a CCA.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So this is where you get your peer group from, right? To bounce off ideas. To how do you benefit from groups like BNI and JCI?
Okay. I enjoy meeting my peers and friends in BNI. For me, it's eye-opening. BNI, you know, every time they introduce they have this 15 minutes presentation for each business owner to share about what they do and how you can refer business to them. It was really insightful.
Right.
You really know how many types of business there are out there and what could be done until you really see them presenting every time. Every time I thought, wow, I never thought that the industry was like that. I really learned a lot in BNI. In JCI, it was really a lot of community sharing, but more about how to say that parliamentarian style of hosting the meetings is the core thing that you learn. So actually, I'm a corporate secretary, a professional secretary, right? But most secretaries have no experience handling board meetings whereby people stand out there, shout at each other, quarrel, tell you about my rights, I disagree with you. This always happens in JCI. Everybody sit there always quarreling. So when I sit down there, the first thing I'll be like, no, don't quarrel now. I have no inputs because I want to go home.
Right.
Yeah. But in JCI, you know, there's this Robert rules. It teaches you exactly how you should conduct a meeting, how the chairman should moderate the meeting and control the crowd, so that we can have an effective meeting and end the meeting on time. Yeah, that's what it really teaches. So great. Quite meaningful.
Good. Yeah. So you mentioned that you started very young. So how young did you started doing business?
2010. 2010, I started my business. I was 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 24.
But your business really grew a lot. I remember, for me, I started my business at 2012. And 9 years now, I'm still a one-man show. So I remember that when I saw you before, we met for coffee once. Yeah. And then, so I was asking you, how do you expand? Then I remember that you replied me very cheerfully. You say, oh, you just train people, and then you just teach them how to do a good job, and then just expand. To me, like, so easy, man.
Okay.
But to you, but you keep
the skills.
Okay. I see.
Chinese always have this belief, you know, must 留一手. Don't teach too much. Later they learn already, they run away. Okay, and a lot of such things. But actually, right, even for ourselves today, we are all learning that. Learning is limitless. So why we shy to share that? Because when you share, right, you already learn a lot more. And if you don't share, you don't relinquish your power. You don't relinquish your duties. You cannot grow up to take on new duties, new jobs, new things, you see. So I really spend a lot of time training my guys to ensure that they can perform the work. so that I can put my heart down, so that I can be rest assured that they can handle it, and then I focus on business development. It's a full-time job.
Right. Business development, as in like you don't do the operation, don't need to do the operations anymore. You just advise when
Still
as and
juggle the
when.
operations, but I try to make them accountable. If I am too, how to say that? If I wait much, what's the accountability? Those things that still my duty, right? So how much to let go, how to let go, and then actually for all business owners or tutors, the contact is the key. You know, some tutors are like, the contact, right? I can refer you to a tutor. Contact is the key. If people know you for this branding, know that you refer good tutors to them, or your methodology of teaching is the best, no matter how many branches you spin off, people will still find you for this brand because of your mindset and your everything that you said is correct, and they are rest assured. But of course, it's about upskilling. Some people don't have big dreams. Like I shared a bit earlier, or maybe when we had coffee sessions, I also shared. Some tutors don't have big dreams. They say that I just want to stay like that forever. I'm happy being small, working for myself. I also respect that. Yeah. But that will be a different path for them in terms of tax savings. At some point, someday, maybe they will say that, okay, I think I cannot do this forever myself. I must do something. That could also happen.
Right. Okay. Since you mentioned that, I think we should really dive into the tips that you can give to us regarding business structure today. So you can, we can achieve what you said, whatever scale that we want. Okay, we respect all scales. Achieve tax savings and things like that to do the right things. Okay, before that, I would like to say hello to a few of our viewers, our regular audience. We have John Yao. Okay, John Yao operates at the center in the Jurong area. Bukit Panjang area. We have Javier. Javier is this tutor who is running his own tutoring business, and he's very good in making videos, teaching videos. Okay, Rajiv is still not here. So John and Javier, please feel free to ask questions. Right, I think you represent just nicely different spectrum in the whole tutoring business. So please ask your questions right away. So Jace, I want to ask you, later on, let's say if they ask questions, right, do we wait until the end when there's a Q&A, or you don't mind that we can actually bring the questions to you right away?
Oh, you can bring the questions to me right away.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's look at your first tip, okay? So the first thing you talk about is start small, save cost. Okay, so can you tell us what do you mean by this?
Okay, so there's a lot of myth going around to tell people that when you start a company, first thing you must start private limited because you got what limited liability. My friend all say very good. You should do that. And then I don't know why you should do that, but just do that. So a bird come to me and ask me, say, Jace, my friend say that I should do a private limited. Is that true? The question is always this. So private limited is dependent on the industry that you are in. If you are in a high risk industry, a private limited gives you this thing called a corporate veil, which is called a corporate protection. In case something happens, you're unable to deliver your services or goods, or that people want to sue you for whatever reason, the damages is beyond whatever you can afford, the private limited will give you a protection if you enter the contract in the private limited's name. Example, in F&B, somebody ate your cookies. You are selling cookies. And then somebody ate your cookies and got food poisoning, and then they sue you. This damage could be unlimited, it could be very high. But a private limited will be limiting your liabilities, and then it doesn't affect your personal assets in that sense. Otherwise, they can sue you in your personal capacity, so you have to give them all your assets. If you have a car, you got a house, you have whatever, they can just sue you and you just have to pay them. Yes. So depending on industry. For tutors, can you share with me what is your risk?
Risk, okay.
Business.
Maybe I will just pose this question to the audience. What kind of risk do you think that you face, okay, as an educator, as a tutor? Okay, so let's hear from our tutors. Okay. Meanwhile, just give me a moment. Let me just turn on the light. It's rainy day, so it's very dark on my place. Okay, so we'd like to invite inputs from our viewers. Okay, we have Rajiv joining us already. Rajiv, and Javier and John. Okay, so what risk do you think that you face as a tutor or a tuition center owner? Oh, Olive. Hello, Olive. Olive is here also. Olive is a business coach. She coaches executives to speak confidently speak English confidently. Okay, Rajiv is in science. Rajiv runs Ministry of Science. Okay, he's a science tutor. Jeffrey says, okay, maybe parents not happy with our performance and sue us. Is that likely?
In the law, there's not really one law that can sue you for performance unless you guarantee performance in your contract. Or you misrepresent and say that I guarantee these, unless there's a refund. You know, some tutors do that. I guarantee A star. Your child sure get A star, but sometimes you know that child you see already, confirm cannot one, no? If you really guarantee that, you better return their money.
But this kind of guarantee, right, must it be contractual form? What if I just do a guarantee on my marketing material? Oh, guarantee A star. But actually there's no contract signed. Does it still count?
It still counts because whatever you display is what you have to honor. But, you know, there's a lot of small prints that you can always do. Terms and conditions apply. You know, you can do guarantee A star, then below terms and conditions apply. Okay. When they come in, you have to tell them terms and conditions apply. This is coming back to about contractual obligations, you know. When you want to do marketing materials and all that very strong, when they come in, your contract must be very strong to limit your liability. So even if you are a sole proprietor or you are self-employed, if there's an engagement, if there's a proper agreement, you can use your agreement to protect yourself. Limit the damages to the maximum tutor fees that they pay. At most, I refund you in full. You already limit your liability at that.
Okay.
The other type of things is like, okay, example for bigger scale companies, I have a tuition center. Somebody came in and somehow there was a puddle of water and then they slip and fall. You know that liability is a tutor center's liability. You all know about this, right? No? Public liability.
But that one can be covered by the insurance, right?
Correct. So there are also certain types of business insurances that can defer your risk, as in you can transfer your risk to the insurance part. So I always tell people, when you don't have a private limited to protect you, two things to take note of. One is your contractual agreement. The other is your insurance that you can look at, how to lower your risk.
Okay. So the risk management part is also is that part of your advisory as well? Like you may not help to buy the insurance, but you advise about.
I will say that if you can share more about your problem, then I can share more about what are the solutions.
Right. Okay, let's look at
how much you share.
We do have a few. We have Julie joining us. Julie runs iSchool.sg. Okay, she is a very educator with a very big heart. She invested a lot to build up this platform. Okay, to provide quality education to needy students. Yeah, so she has an IT platform with a lot of questions that she created. Yeah, so I think Julie probably deals with a lot of vendors. Okay, Julie, maybe you just want to confirm whether this is right. Okay, you have to deal with IT vendors and all kinds of different kinds of vendors, right? So I would like to ask for our audience, if you find that this is useful, okay, because every tutor will have to handle business structure, have to handle corporate structure and money. So if you find that sharing with Jace will bring value to your friends, right, do share this video and also do like our videos. Okay, let's look at comments from Rajiv. Rajiv says, okay, I'm a tutor going from one-man team to a three-man team. Would you recommend to register as a private limited or sole proprietorship?
Okay, so the first tip that I'm going to share is start small, save costs. Let me explain first. the cost of running a sole proprietor is a lot lower than running a private limited. Okay, but if you are structuring to bring 3 men as a shareholder and director, means you are willing to cut them shares, and you're also willing to make them directors to be executive and running and be accountable, you should start thinking about a private limited, because in terms of segregation of duties, the cut of shares is a lot clearer. In sole prop or partnerships, right, the capital is not properly recorded. So you have to separately have an agreement that is prepared by yourself. But for private limited, everything is on ACRA, everything is transparent. How much share each person has, how much, who is a director, who's not a director, who has rights, no rights. Everything is very transparent. But the cost there, it's higher. So my question to you is it just a thought, or are you confirmed already? So if you are just trying out, I usually start with a sole prop first until I am highly and super confident that at this point, our revenue is good. The right fit is here, as in the right talent and man is here. Then I set up a private limited to have this proper structure and be accountable to everybody. But if you're at a trying stage, I try not to commit to have them as shareholders and directors. Because coming into business is like getting married. It's easy to get married, but it's very difficult to divorce. Especially when they say, I don't want to sign the paper, say, I don't want to sign, I don't want to go, I don't want to... No, all these things is a lot of problem. So until you're very, very, very sure and very, very ready that this is what you want to do, then you'll get them on board. If trial and error, you can share your returns, share your profits, give the commissions whatsoever, but don't give them shareholders or directorship, because it's very sticky matter. And to undo that incurs a lot of potential costs. So think through carefully first, depending on which stage you're at.
A sidetrack. Let's say, for example, if I have this partner right now, right? And I bring this talented tutor or whatever lah. I have a private limited, and I give shares to this person. And later on, this person wants to leave the company. Then what will happen?
Okay, so whenever you give something, right, you must have an exit clause. You must think everything you sign, right, you have a simple contract. If you decide to leave, either you definitely have to transfer all the shares back to me, and you have to resign. But they won't go without getting money, right? So you state how much you are willing to give them if they were to exit.
Is this part of the private limited agreement, or you have to draft a separate document?
You have to draft a separate document yourself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course, you want to protect yourself fully, you get a lawyer to do it. But if you can think through simply and thoroughly, a simple document works.
Wow, okay. Do you have templates for your clients on this kind of thing?
No, but you can bounce off the idea with me, then I can tell you like what to take note of, because we have seen a lot of agreements before. So based on the experience, we will tell you a fair bit of things to consider, and then you can draft it in a formal email and have it like minuted and agreed.
Right. Okay, Rajiv has a new input. Rajiv says, I'm actually intending to be the only owner and the rest are working for me. So what is your advice for him then?
My question to you is, do you foresee them being loyal to you if they're forever workers? You know? So I attended this course that I learned about this ESMS. You know, there's this thing called ESOP, Employee Share Options Plan. So if you work for big organizations, they tell you, say, oh, we will give you shares and give you options to get the shares of the company and all that. If you're small, it's easy to control your crowd, as in your staff. But as you grow, and then after X number of years, they don't see any potential in staying. At some point, they see you and they think that they can be you, and they want to be a business owner or shareholder, because when you are at a level, you will look what is beyond you, it's growth. So ultimately, if you are the boss and the highest, the next thing will be, I'm going out to set up on my own and I'm not going to follow you. So we have this thing called Employee Shares Motivation Scheme. Yeah. So at some point, you have to really consider to give them shares to motivate them. Yeah. To work harder,
So there's also some document that need to be drafted.
Yes. But of
Wow.
course, it's not to a certain extent that when your business scale to that part, then you should start considering.
Right. I'm just guessing, but I suppose your work has to do with a lot of legal matters, right? So do you like work with your like trusted lawyer partners and stuff like that?
Yes, we work very closely with our legal partners.
Okay, great. Okay, so now, so the risk. Okay, is there any more risk from our audience? Do you feel that you are facing some risk that we didn't address? Okay, something interesting that Olive, she has some clients overseas and she coached them online in English. So Olive feels that there is minimal risk for her. Right. So based on your experience, have you have any client that's like that? The service client overseas, and does it mean that there's no risk?
I would say it's minimal risk. That's why I usually don't encourage tutors or coaches to have something private limited because there's no need. Your risk is quite low, You keep the cost low. That will help.
Right. So what kind of cost are you talking about when we are running a sole prop?
So prop, the registration fee is about $115. But to register a private limited, including professional fees, you're talking from 500 to 600 to begin with, excluding the annual secretarial fee that you have. And year-end compliance, you need to do the unaudited accounts, you need to get somebody professional to do your tax. Anyhow, also like 2,000 plus, minimally per annum.
Okay.
But lesser than 1,000, you should be able to maintain it.
Lesser than 1,000. But just now you mentioned that the registration is only $115, right? So where do the rest of the money come from?
Preparing your tax returns if you don't know how.
Oh, right.
Putting up the books together if you don't know how.
Okay.
Maximum. If you don't have that, then you can DIY everything. It's only a few $100. Yes.
Okay. Personally, I've been surviving as a sole prop for about 8-9 years, and I find that filing returns, maybe because I'm not doing like $1 million business. So I guess I represent a fair number of tutors who are not hitting the $1 million range. So the IRAS requires only 4-line statement, right? Just a 4-line. I think even 2 lines if you are below certain point. So it's actually okay. So far pretty okay for me.
Okay, so maybe you want to listen to my next tip.
Let's go. Next tip. Save tax. Okay, save structure.
So the question is, when I earn how much, you think I should start saving on my taxes? My business very small, I got nothing, but my tax very high. Why? Okay, this is a common question, right? So the question is, how much I earn, should I start considering this tax savings thing, Okay, it's a different bracket for male and female because of the number of children you may have and your tax relief. I just share.
Right.
So, I don't know, but some tutors that talk to me, right, somehow they earn a lot. Like they can get 6-digit income a year. So depends on how well you are doing, okay? And then if you're a male, your income tax, okay, I'm looking at IRAS taxes. I don't know whether you all can see this. I will try to share. Yeah. Okay, I just want to share. Personal income tax is between 2 to 22%, right? Okay. Corporate tax, the effective tax rate for the first 3 years of income is about 4.25%. Subsequently, is about 8.5%. So if you actually have a private limited, the amount of tax savings you have, less of your compliance costs, usually you still have some form of savings. So that's where the mathematical works comes in to ensure that you make sense there. And then when you work out your taxable income, it's after all your reliefs. For working mothers, they have actually more discount before deriving at the taxable income. You see this kind anyhow 120,000 one, you're tax 15%. For every dollar that you earn, you pay 15 cents of tax. But imagine you are private limited. First 3 years only 4.25 cents per dollar. Yeah.
So you're talking about 10 cents, at least 10 cents of savings per dollar.
It's a lot of savings. It's a lot of savings if you get the structure correct and you plan correctly. That's what we call tax planning. Oh, sorry. So I'm also a tax practitioner on top of a chartered accountant. So that's why I also touch on this topic on top of a professional secretary.
Oh, okay. Because I guess, I guess they're all related, right? Accounting, CorpSec, and then tax advisory.
Yes. For me, it's just hand in hand. So I actually do overall advisory in all areas. And I see things more as a whole. So I try to share as much from every angle. And then when you are a private limited, why I want to say that it's a safe structure is because there's also this corporate veil that I mentioned just now, that you have a private limited protection. Protection and also succession planning. You know, in private limited, what happens if something happens to you, a mishap? It's quite easy to pass down the company and the assets down to your family members. But for partnerships or sole prop, when you pass on, the business also ceases. It's the end already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for people who have very big plans, earning a lot of money, want to scale up, private limited, okay? Don't think that you still survive small. That doesn't work for you anymore. So my take is, when you are at the right size, right income, right mindset, start structuring your business to have every component correct. Is it too cheap?
No, it's not cheap. I think this is a very dry topic. So I really appreciate that you can actually bring it to life, explaining in layman's term to us. I think Julie has a question. Okay, Julie has a question. Let me show the question. Julie asked, what are the key advantages of private limited? Okay, because if private limited takes a bank loan, they require a guarantor too. Wow, so bank loan topic come into play already now.
Let me share you. So private limited has a lot of benefits, and bank loan I'll address shortly. First, I mentioned about corporate bill. Next, I mentioned about the tax savings. These two things, right? I also mentioned about how you can easily add on shareholders into your businesses and have some form of bylaws, company bylaws to abide by, to ensure that there's proper rules and controls within the organization, that people cannot anyhow shout at each other for no reason, because there's a meeting rule, there's a company rules, rights and authorities. It gives you a governed set of rules how every business should be conducted. Okay. So when private limited in taking bank loan, yes, although you are the personal guarantor, however, in the credit bureau report, right, your private limited loans are not reflected under your personal CBS, credit bureau service report. So with that, it doesn't affect you when, let's say, you want to buy a house. Imagine you run a business and you want to buy a house. They assess you together. Then the total TDS, total debt servicing ratio, cannot pass. Then you cannot buy the house, you cannot take a bank loan, then you're stuck. But if you separate them, you can maximize your loan. So that structuring helps in maximizing your bank loans. But it doesn't limit your liability.
So having a private limited structure separates your business and your personal lives, right? Can I say that?
And loans, yes.
And loans. So your loans are accessed differently. So they won't say that, your business still got so much loan, then you cannot buy a personal house. I mean, you cannot buy a house for your personal users. So there won't be such things. Sole proprietor.
Yeah, sole proprietor is lodged into your personal CBS, Credit Bureau Service Report. Yeah, right. I don't even know the short terms. I'm trying to figure them out. Yes. So when you buy your own personal credit bureau report, right, you will see this loan being lodged inside, and then that's how they assess you. Yeah. But the smart way is your business loan you take from company A, I mean bank A. Then your personal loan for your house you take from bank B. Don't use the same bank. If not, they will assess you together. Because they know they got all the records.
Wait, is that for sole prop or is that for private limited?
It's for your business and for your home loan if you are doing separately.
So, for example, if I'm a sole prop, I want to apply loan for my business. I want to apply loan for my own house. So, as a sole prop, if I apply on
all
two
the banks
different banks,
yeah,
all the banks can see. It doesn't matter whether I go to the same bank or not.
Yes.
But if I'm a private limited, you are saying that I should still apply differently from one bank for my business purpose and another for my personal purpose.
See.
Okay. But if I go to the same bank, then they will still see everything.
You can try first. If it fails, then you can try other banks. As in, there's more options.
Okay. Got it.
It's easier to maximize your loan. For business owners, how much you can cash out is very important. Because it means how much you can scale. You have a big plan, but you're not enough cash. You need this debt financing to help, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I guess cash flow is really important when you want to scale up, right? But if you're doing just like a personal, like a very small micro business for yourself, just to pay yourself, then the cash flow may not be that important. Julie has another question. Okay. Julie say, I have a friend who became a guarantor for a business loan and has become a bankrupt. Wow, any advice? Wow, this one sounds serious.
This one very serious. This one I cannot help.
She was a guarantor for her father-in-law's business.
This goes back to sharing with you, don't anyhow sign the papers. Yeah, really, because when this happens, right, there's no way we can undo this. Yeah. When the person is not able to pay off the debt, there's no way we can undo this. Because when you sign already, you become a guarantor, you become liable. That's why always when you see the scam report or the police, the kind of like 绳之以法, they always tell you, don't anyhow become guarantor, don't label your IC, all these things. So for this case, I am really not able to help her because she signed on the dotted line. Unless there was misrepresentation. Okay, misrepresentation means any form of negligence, any form of fraud being involved, or she was forced into doing it, all this, then she has to discuss this with the lawyer that she was misrepresented.
So she should seek advice from a lawyer.
Yes, but it is the banker's due diligence to ensure that she was a willing guarantor.
Oh, so if the banker didn't do that part?
He can dispute with the bank.
Force as in somebody really hold your hand and to sign it, or somebody use words to pressurize you to sign it?
Yeah, you're being forced in the situation. Then the contract is not, it can be null and void. It can be ineffective. It's not recognized.
Okay. Yeah, so Julie's advice is don't be a guarantor for business loan, even for private limited.
Of course. Unless you're very sure, 100% sure that this person can pay off or this person give you a lump sum of money. This kind then you can think about it.
Okay, I see. Well, I guess these are the part and parcel of things that we may face even as tutors, right? Sometimes we'll be asked to take, we need to take loan and things like that. Okay, that's one question, right, that I want to ask about this, is that, sometimes, right, when we talk about safe structure, okay, what if we are planning for investors to come in to invest in our business? Whether to do up a state-of-the-art website, or to expand overseas, or maybe we want to have joint venture partners from overseas. So what do you say about that?
Okay. So the easiest structure to bring in investors and joint venture is the private limited.
Is that related to your next tip?
My next tip is about when things happen, it's about more recession-proof part of things,
Okay. Then let's stay on this then.
Stay on this. The safe structure, okay, it depends. So recently I joined this course that teach about IPO, how you give your employee share options to motivate them, right? So there's also another structure that they shared and discussed about how you bring in investors into the company and how you then have your subsidiaries and everybody go listed together. It's a big, big plan, okay? But to make things simple at this point, to have investors, the easiest is to have them in the private limited because like I said, private limited has a basic set of the bylaws to say how business should be run and everybody should abide by this law. So you don't have to worry about some hanky-panky or some somebody just kick you out tomorrow, out of no reason because there's some set of rules to say that you must have a properly informed, there must be meeting conducted, then you have minority rights, even if you are a minority shareholder, if your investor is a majority. So it does protect you to a certain extent. That's why I say private limited is considered a safe structure.
Okay. Nowadays, right? Okay. Besides talking about investors who inject money, it is increasingly common or it's like an in thing to do collaboration with people. So for example, right, two tuition centers can want to collaborate together, maybe to run a workshop. Maybe one teaches English, the other one teaches math and science. So they do their joint marketing, they collect the money together. So in cases like this, right, what would be a good structure to have?
Good structure to have. This is a good agreement to have.
Sorry?
It's a good agreement. Need not be a structure. It's a good agreement to have. So when you're agreed, you have to sit down, brainstorm, think in details how each cost is going to be shared and how proper budgeting will help. Like marketing, how much is our budget for marketing? We should not expend more than this. And how much are we going to share the marketing? Is it 50-50? Then in the end, who is accountable? How is the share split? I mean, how is the profit split? You must think.
Okay.
Then have written down and also discuss, confirm through emails or a written piece of paper. We sit down and sign off, up to you. But you must have all the details listed. Budgeting is very important. So everybody knows that, this budget affordable, put the money together so you all don't burst budget.
Okay. What about so besides budget, I guess the other end of the story is the profit sharing. So I guess that also need to be stated very clearly, right?
Yeah, because doing more work, maybe want to take more risks, maybe also want to take more, So these are going to be discussed and penned down.
So who come up with what? Like if you provide the venue, then the other person provide what? This kind of thing. Do you advise your client on all this?
Budgeting, yes. Yeah, they will actually ask us to help them with the budget, especially when they run a new business.
But like industry specific things like if you run tuition program together, those kind of things probably is unreasonable to expect you to know .
Yeah, not unreasonable. All the businesses are about the same. Like run events is the same. F&B also got events, right? How they come bring this person to their event to their restaurant to host an event, and how they do profit sharing with this expert. There's a lot of such things that are happening.
Yeah, what I heard is that in collaboration, right, one of the reasons that things go sour is really that terms and conditions are not stated clearly. So everybody and nobody wants to be the bad guy, right? So everybody say, okay we based on trust. I trust you to do the right thing. So never list down. In the end, always, hey, I thought you would do this. Then, no, I never say that I will do this. I thought you would do it. So things go sour that way, and many collaboration just break off from there. So any advice about this?
About being clear, documenting everything is the key.
So email can do the job now. Let's say if we just
can.
Okay.
Best is after much discussion, you have a summary, everybody refer to the summary.
Okay, if nowadays everything is on Zoom, right? Is it all right to use a recorded Zoom as a proof if any dispute happens?
Can, but my recommendation is still have a summary so that it's easy reference. If the Zoom session is 4 hours, who's going through the 4 hours and see what was discussed?
This one is the 绳之以法 scenario already, like CCTV like that.
Yeah, who's going to sit down there? But at 1 minute and 37 seconds, you said this. At 1 hour and 57 seconds, I said that, So the initial discussion and the end discussion keep ping. It's just flipping.
Yes. Understand.
The best is to have summary of what was discussed and finalized for easy reference and say that, hey, we all discussed and agreed to this.
But I guess to preserve the trust, would it be a good idea to just have the expectation that we try to trash out any possible gray area in the beginning, and nobody should bear any grudges. So that's how I would do it, lah.
Yes, and then the simple thing people always say is can work together is either one time or continuous.
Right.
If you're unhappy, only that one time, just one time now. Move on.
Yeah.
Don't work ever together again.
Because as a tutor, right, I do notice that in the tuition, I guess moving forward, we really need to collaborate, because online tutoring opens up the world and then new normal, right? So what I noticed that a lot of people shy away from collaboration, or they think about collaboration, they start to think about all the negative part. Then 给人家骗啊, people will take advantage of me, then I lose a friend or things like that. So I guess to have this structure or the common know-how to collaborate effectively is really a skill, right? Maybe we should talk to you more,
probably
because you have experience. You have experience seeing how businesses work together or how they fall out.
Yes.
Yeah, common advice to share with us. Okay, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, right? You have actually a special offer for our audience. Okay, later we'll talk about that. Okay, Julie also asked a question: what's the business share percentage to have the decision maker?
Okay, simple majority. 51. Always keep at 51 minimally.
51. Even if your company has 4%, you also have to take 51%?
Regardless what, also 51 if you want to be a decision maker.
So you cannot take less than that, so that people cannot gang up and throw you out.
Yes, the gang also cannot throw you out because you're majority.
Right. Okay.
51-49, keep it that way.
Okay, great. Okay, so before we move on to tip number 3, all right, to talk about recession-proofing your business, okay, I want to encourage our audience to give us a like if you feel that this has been useful for you so far, and then share this with your friends who are in the education business, whether they are a one-man show or whether they have collaboration of people or they have tuition center. So we are moving into the third tip, which is to talk about flexibility equals to sustainability. Okay, so what do you mean by that?
Okay, so a lot of times, right, when you grow up very, very big, right, you cannot scale down. So a lot of people are stuck that way. And then the next moment when you cannot sustain your growth, you go bust. So in order for that not to happen, whenever you structure your company, right, your company must be flexible to go up and down, to grow and shrink. Sometimes shrinking will help you save costs and still keep you safe. And when the right opportunity comes, you can grow again. So don't be limited by yourself thinking that, but I'm already so big, there's no way it can go down. There's nothing called no way. Because I'm having this problem with a lot of business owners, especially the traditional and stubborn one. They cannot scale down. I say, why not you cut costs now, you scale down a little bit. Like you have 2 offices, you just let go of one. No, cannot, everything cannot, So when you, I think it comes in age also. When by the time you build something that long, you become a lot more stubborn to let go of certain things. So my tip for this is always to have a flexible mind and heart. You can grow big and you can shrink and still grow big. I saw successful business owners, right? They are highly flexible. Meaning, today my business is very big. Yeah, okay, I will push all I can, all my resources to ensure that I hit the maximum. But to a certain extent, like recession, example, if I'm a retail, there's no way people are coming to buy things from me because they cannot even come here, all locked from home, right? And that's how my sales is affected by this and deep. And I don't see the need for my retail anymore because people are not even coming to buy, they could be going online or whatsoever. Then that's the time that you should think about letting go of a space, right? But they were not able to let go. But space is the most apparent thing. There were a lot or more costs and small things to consider to let go that they couldn't. Yeah. My tip is if you can have a flexible business and mindset, you're willing to grow at the right time and shrink at the right time, your business is highly sustainable. Because in Chinese, we call it 能屈能伸, Yeah, sometimes it's just not your timing. You just shrink a bit and wait for the right timing right on it and you can grow out again.
So what is the business structure that will best allow us to be flexible then?
There's no business structure to be... Any business structure allows you to be flexible, Yes. But then it's your mindset. Yeah.
Okay.
I tell the big bosses, I say, you got 10 outlets, tomorrow you cut 5. They'll tell me, say, no, cannot. So when you're at that point, when you grow to that part, right, it's very hard to let go. It's all about your mindset mentality. And this tip, I hope that y'all always remember when you grow big.
Okay. Well, you touch upon a hot topic because nowadays, with all these HA lah, circuit breaker lah, and don't know whatever that might happen in the future, right? It is a big it's very contentious to talk about. Should we keep our tuition centers? Because when you commit to a tuition center, right, is usually you sign a lease, some for 1 year, some for 2 years, and it is also very it's a very long process to look for a right location. So I know that many center owners, right, they are very attached to the location because they believe that that's where they command their advantage. That's where they get in touch with their audience. They serve that area. So to let go of that, it can be a very tough decision. So Jeffrey has a question. Would you recommend center owners to let go of their tuition centers in this case?
Depends. If your tuition center is in CBD, I would say let go now. But if your tuition center is in the heartlands, I think you can still hold on. CBD nobody go work for 1 year already. I don't know when they're going back to work, honestly, I tell you. CBD really cannot. But if in the heartlands, I think you still can survive because sometimes opens you can go back, people still go home, then they still want to drop the kids because some parents still go crazy, all these things. Yeah. So it really depends on the location. You have to think very carefully. And this is when you should look at each center's numbers because you will know the results. It's easy to make decision with numbers because you see the deep yourself. It's telling you, let me go, yo.
What numbers will you look at if you are looking at a center?
Whether it's sustainable. Sometimes it's not loss making, then you let go. It's when you see that it's dipping and you don't foresee it coming back, you already let go. Don't wait till negative. Because I got some clients will say, wait lah, Jace, wait. Still can pay off ma. Still making money, not as much. Still can hold, Yeah.
So you can see beyond the present. You can see you talk about seeing the trend, right? Seeing the trend.
Yes.
Like if it consecutively fall for a few months, then you can see the trend already.
Actually, our government are very good at giving tips. They tell you what is about to happen. So you all should start studying. Example, government openly share that we are going to open our borders to welcome other people from other countries. So now you already hear this news, right? It's definitely going to happen. But how soon is a question mark lah. So you know what is going to happen. If they're going to lock down, they won't lock down tomorrow, They will tell you we intend to lock down if, our government is very good at giving tips. So you'll be able to speculate the trend quite easily about what is about to happen. They also said that COVID is going to happen for about 7 years. It will take 7 years for international traveling to normalize. They gave us this expectation. Do you know this?
I totally don't have a clue on this.
I constantly watch news because I'm looking for a tip every day. They say this.
Okay. Okay. I just like this.
Based on what they are telling us. Yeah. They usually say they commit and they do it.
Right. That's Singapore government, very reliable government.
Yeah, they don't
And,
drop bombs. Like the GST, they also tell you going to 9% when they give you 1 to 2 years to prepare yourself for 9%. Then now they delay. They're actually very nice. They give you the speculation is not really speculation. They actually tell you in advance.
Okay. Yeah. But I guess it takes a bit of professional skill to read the signs. Otherwise, to someone like me, I just listen to the news. Okay, lor, they say this.
Yeah. I'm very business centric, so I was like, so this is going to happen and all that. I catch all these things.
Okay, Olive really like your tips. She said that's a very good tip to be flexible in her mindset. Yeah. So the last point is really about the business structure as a whole, not only about the corporate structure, right? So 能屈能伸 can expand, can shrink, it depend on the situation. Right, Jeffrey, write it out. Okay, 大丈夫能屈能伸. I think this applies to everyone already nowadays. Yeah, ladies also like capable lady entrepreneurs also like yourself. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, next one we want to go on to the case about. Okay, because we are already hitting our 11:05 already, so I don't want to overrun too much. Okay, I want to respect your time. So you said that you are looking for you have a special offer for our audience, right?
Oh yes, I'm offering consultation.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people come to me to share their problems. Then I will try to give them propose solutions as much as possible, and I will share this to the tutors here. 30 minutes with me.
Any prerequisites? Like, do we have to have a center, or do we have to be private limited, or sole prop also can?
No need. Take it as a chit chat session.
Right. So what can we ask during the session?
Anything about business.
Okay. Anything about the business. So we can get advice on corporate structure.
Yes. Tax structure, corporate structures. Actually, small things like my friend who went bankrupt, all this. My friends always ask me this kind of question there. A bit more legal questions. Then at the end of the day, I always tell them this. Hey, I'm an accountant, not lawyer, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but I happen to give them a fair bit of legal advice also. So anything as law also maybe can ask me if it's not too difficult. If not, I'll refer you to the legal associate if it's too technical.
Sometimes we as laymen we cannot really differentiate. Like it took me a long time to draw the line. What is called corporate secretariat? What is called accountant? And what's called tax planning. To me, it's all the same.
Okay, Ken. I'll have a few more coffee sessions with me. I'll explain to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Now can have coffee already. I really look forward to. Yeah. Okay. So you gave me a link. Okay. So I share it here on the comment. Okay. So they can. So anyone interested to get this consultation with you can either email you or they can go to the calendly.com, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so Jace, thanks for your time today. So to all our audience out there, okay, hope that you have gained a lot of value from this, okay, to help your business to have the right structure. So as we end today's session, okay, I want to just inform you about the next one. We'll be having 3rd of September, Friday, we'll be having Gavin, who will share with us his expertise on how to market yourself better online and how to launch an online program for your tutoring business. All right. Also, you can join our Facebook group to stay in touch with Jace and other our past experts. Okay, Jace, thank you very much for your time and appreciate that. Okay, so I hope that more people can. Oh, wait, hang on. That we have a question from Jeff. This private consultation, right? Do you have a limit to the number of tutors who can take advantage of this?
No, as long as you can book a slot, because my slots can be quite packed sometimes.
Okay.
You have look into the calamity.
So,
Sorry to this question.
mm,
What if parents refuse to pay tuition fee for months? You know, okay, I understand that a lot of times they may have financial difficulties, but we are not running a charity organization. We also need to feed our own family, correct, right? So when they cannot pay, we cannot allow their children to continue to come for class.
that's the reasonable response that you will advise, right?
Yes, and deliver the exact same message to the parent. We
Okay.
don't run charity organization. We also have a family to feed. We have the rent to pay, and we have staff. We hope you understand.
Mm. Yeah.
Yes.
I guess this is sound advice from you because you also run a team. You also have to pay your staff salary.
Yeah. If my
Yeah.
clients don't pay me, they know my staff no bonus. Okay. Overdue fees. Overdue fees, you should actually send a letter of demand.
Okay.
A letter of demand template can be Googleable. You can prepare it and then you send to them. Send to the parents directly. But the last resort is as long as the fees are due within a year or two, right? You can actually go small claim. And then
Small claim tribunals.
small claim tribunals. The fees for small claim, right? If I'm not wrong, below 10,000 is only $100 of application fee. But the question is, do you want to go there? If possible, settle through a letter of demand first.
Mm.
Letter of demand enforceable. Okay, before you go to small claims, you must prove that you put in every effort to recover the fees. Means by calling, messaging, and also sending letter of demands.
Right.
To send invoice first, right? Yes, you send invoices first, and then you can message them. The invoice could be a form of a message, right? Usually tutors message you, say this is the fee due and whatsoever, right? Then you send reminders, okay? You send many reminders, then you call them already, still cannot, right? Then letter of demand now.
Okay.
You must show the steps. Every step must be in. Then you
Okay.
can go to small claim tribunal court to present all these facts and evidences that you have in every fact and evidence that you put in every effort to recover this money.
Okay. Can. Right. So I think Julie, can I suggest that maybe you try to book a session with Jace, then you can ask more in detail, because now I can see that Jace, you are looking to the side already. Maybe you have something to attend to. Yeah, thank you very much. I don't want to hold you up. All right. Okay. So thanks. Really a pleasure to have you with us. Look forward to having coffee with you. Okay. Thank you.
Catch you soon.